Hi guys,
What's going on, y'all?
welcome to our channel.
Welcome. Before we start, y'all, please like, share, and subscribe, y'all.
Please, so you can get the latest notifications when we drop all this good content.
Question.
So let's get into it.
So let's get to it. What we talking about today?
We're talking about how we first met.
We talking about how we first met.
When I met my baby, a person, the love of my life. So cheesy.
She killed me with this. She's killed me with this.
No, seriously.
Ah.
Seriously though, we met on Facebook dating.
Yup.
So for me, I guess I'll start. I had initially been on Facebook dating about 3 times. 2 times before I met her. The crazy thing about it is that every time I went on there, she came across whatever you call it, the main page of Facebook dating where, you either swipe right or you swipe left or whatever. And we had a conversation, but she doesn't remember.
I don't even remember that. I ain't gonna hold you.
But I don't think that it went. The reason why I didn't pursue into anything is because I deleted the app. I was like, okay, I feel like everybody is on the same app ultimately because I was on, I don't know if you say Tammy or Tayami. I don't know how you pronounce the proper name for it, but I was on there, and I think I was also on Bumblebee. I may have been on Tinder, but I just felt like it was the same people all on the same apps, and I had gotten to the mindset where I was like, you know what, I don't even want to be on these apps. If I'm going to meet somebody, I'm just going to meet them in a, God is just going to send me the person. So I came across the app the 3rd time when I was getting ready to delete it, and I met, her name on the page was Ray Charles. And I saw her picture, and I believe the eyes are the window to the soul, right? So ultimately when I saw her picture, I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. Let's see.
That's she said, just interesting. Huh?
No, it wasn't just interesting. It was something about her because I guess maybe the way the picture was positioned, she was on the side of her truck, and it was like a picture like sitting up high. It was just the way the picture, the way she had the optics of the picture. It wasn't just about her. It was just, oh, okay. I think an image, somebody's profile picture speak volumes of themselves, because I've seen some profile where people had their kids, their dogs, all kinds of stuff. So it was just like she was like sitting up high, like I'm on top of the world type. That's the kind of vibe I was getting about her. And her dog was laying on the ground. And then I think I skimmed through her description, but I just didn't go into detail with it. And then she messaged me. She sent me a DM. She was in my DMs.
Shit, girl, you something else. So for me, I guess I could say, yeah, I definitely swiped right. I definitely swipe right, y'all. Like, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I saw that picture. I think she was saying she was at like a photo shot or something. It was like a photo shoot.
I did a self-love photo shoot. One of my things that I did in my season of healing was to kind of embrace me, just myself, full transparency.
Yeah, and I just thought that shit was so fucking sexy. I was like, it's something about this woman, her feminine, just the feminine, that shit that's giving off in that picture. I like it. I said, man, I'm about to, shoot my shot. You know what I'm saying? I basically was like, just shot her a text, just shot her, just DM her, and was just like sexy.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, we went from there. We conversated for a little bit, but ultimately I told her that, hey, you know, if you want to take the conversation offline, you know, let me know because I'm going to be deleting the app because I think I was just really up to. There was just nobody of substance in that app, and we exchanged phone numbers, and
yeah, she
yeah,
definitely was like, well, I'm about to get off this app. Basically,
yeah,
you gonna call me? La la la. Here's my number.
yeah,
I was like, bad. Like, damn. Like, Shorty saying cool. You know what I'm saying? She saying like she a little down to earth because we was y'all like talking. We was like had like got started talking and shit like on on Facebook like back and forth. Like
yeah,
I'd be at say I'd be at work or something like that. She'd be on her way. Like around the time that we met, it was literally right around my birthday. She was going to Aruba
yeah,
and my family was coming to San Antonio to meet me. My mother and my sister, my best friend, you know what I'm saying, childhood sandbox, you know what I'm saying, my godmother and my little sister. Yeah, so it was like we met around the time that both of us was gonna be like super like you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna say busy, but like occupied. You know what I'm saying? She was gonna be gone. You know what I'm saying? She went on a whole like just a whole little solo thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like waiting for my family to come. She literally went on my birthday weekend.
yeah,
So it was like we had just met probably like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before you went to Aruba.
Yeah.
Probably like 2 weeks before she went to Aruba.
Yeah, literally, because before I met, what's crazy is that before I met her, we both went through serious breakups and things like that. So I had went to therapy. I went through my healing. So I was starting to do solo traveling. Like I literally had all my trips booked up for the year. Aruba was my first trip, and the next was going to be Greece, Santorini, Lily, Greece, and then I was going to go to Bali the following year. So I was like, okay, I'm doing my solo traveling thing. And then I met her. And 2 weeks before I met her, I did my declaration prayer. So I prayed to God. I was like, I want my person. And God was like, no, you need to be a little bit more detailed than that. So
I know. And I was like, yo, she sent me this prayer. She's like, I swear you are my prayer. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I'm going to send it to you. I'm like, okay, and I get to reading it, and I'm just like going through my phone, like, oh my God, this might be my person.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. It is just like crazy how everything just like unfolded, like mechanically. That shit was just like boom, 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 boom. Everything was online, like divine timing. We met. We both was at a time in our lives where we both was ready to settle down. Like we both had already been through so much shit, and we had been single. I know I was single for a lot longer than she was. I was already single for 3 years, by choice when we met.
Right.
So it was like I already knew what I was looking for. I definitely was looking for somebody that wasn't playing no games and shit like that. And she reciprocated that really well because she wanted the same exact thing. So it was just like from there, everything just started happening.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think it was anything it didn't feel forced. It wasn't anything that I know for me I had to like overthink or analyze or like I had to doubt or question. Like everything was so transparent and so natural and organic for us. It's like our conversations flowed and we talked, and we still actually do. Like
we talk all the time still, because we did meet and we still getting to know each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like we find something new about each other every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. And I think I went to Aruba. That was my kind of like really fully releasing, all the baggage, all the nonsense. And I had already went through my self accountability part. Say, you know what, now I'm ready to really embrace what God has for me. And I came back, and that's when we had already set up a a time to meet.
Right, like
yeah, because she was in San Antonio.
Person.
Yeah, and I was in Houston, so we kind of did the little drive thing. Well, I did. I went to San Antonio. I felt like
babe wasn't playing. She was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go see my motherfucker." You got me fucked up.
Yeah, yeah. And I was nervous, but it wasn't like, okay, are you really sure you want to do this? Like, I still went full throttle with it. I think the first time I met her at the hotel, I booked a room at on the Riverwalk. So I was like, we can make a whole like weekend out of it, right? So I booked this nice room at the Hilton, and she came down to. She drove in and parked, and that was chaotic because I think they were doing construction on the area by the hotel. So that was frustrating.
God.
Yeah, so they were charging like what, $50, $60 to park.
Like, what the fuck? The dude talking about it was what?
Like $50 or $60 for you to park. And ultimately, like, my heart is beating out of my chest. So she's parked by this point. She's gotten to the door, and
yeah, because I was like, the valet, I think it was like $125 a night or something like that, $150 a night.
After that, yeah.
Remember, I think it was like that, and so I was like, no, fuck it, I don't care if it's construction. I'm gonna just ride around, find this hotel that's supposed to be like across the street, but it was like a whole detour, the hotel garage or whatever. But on my way walking up there, I'm like, it's like hot too. I'm like, man, I'm across the street from the Jones, so it's like it's all this traffic. I gotta walk up the street, around the corner. And then it was like they had all this construction and shit going on. You couldn't go in this side of the hotel, like you couldn't go straight. You had to go all the way down and around all the way to the front.
It was like, a lot.
Nigga was sweating like a motherfucker by the time I.
Were you nervous? I don't even ever know if I asked you that. Were you nervous?
No, I don't think I was nervous at all. I was just like, I had so much to prove to her, right? Because I kept telling her, bro, when I see you, I'm gonna give you the biggest hug.
She did.
And I was just like holding on to that. I was just like walking fast as fuck when I got, because I wanted to get out the heat too, but when I got out the elevator, that's when I slowed down. I started like looking for the room and shit. And I was like, when I got there, she opened the door and I started hugging her, and then I had all my bags on, so I set my bags down and I just wrapped her in my arms. Just like,
yeah, she gave me her hug was everything. But she also said that she would give me the biggest hug. But I don't even think I ever had nobody to hug me like that. Like, and it was like one of them hugs where I'm like, okay, I'm safe, I'm home type of hugs. Like, and I still remember like when I opened the door, like she had on this like turquoise blue Armani Exchange t-shirt. She had on her jeans, and
I think that was like my Hugo Boss.
Yeah. Okay. No, it was a t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I remember exactly what she had on. She had on her Coach sling backpack and everything.
Oh, handbag.
Yeah. She came ready, and her smile, just like her energy and her smile, I think spoke volumes. Like it lit up the room. I think it was one of those things to where if you could say a description of falling in love with somebody at first sight, I think that was another thing that made me fall in love with her, is just her smile and her energy. Like, it was definitely like she was who she was. Like, not that I second guessed that she was.
I love you.
I love you, baby. Her energy confirmed that she was who she was. Like, she stood on business like that. She was loyal. She was true. Like, her authentic side. Like, it really speaks for her without her having to say anything. And yeah, we went on our first date then to this Mexican restaurant.
The food was really good. I was like, dang, I've been in San Antonio all this time and I ain't never eat down here on the water at this restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm like, because that restaurant stayed packed though.
Yeah, it was really nice. The only thing is that we were by the water and the birds.
Them motherfucking pigeons about to kick the fuck out of them little motherfuckers.
Birds was
I'm
vicious.
trying not to be mean to the fucking pigeons on the first date and shit. I don't want her to think I'm gonna fuck them motherfuckers. So I'm like, Go on now.
They were so bold.
Everybody that was sitting around was just like, it was just normal. And I'm like, what the hell? Y'all little motherfuckers ain't about to eat off my plate.
Yeah, they were literally on the tables. They were like right there. Like they had no, like, yeah, they were serious about that. Once we finished eating, we kind of walked the Riverwalk. We went to get something to drink, some liquor. We decided on some rock, but they were tripping at the liquor store. So that whole experience, I think they gave us something to talk about because
man, that's what lit up that conversation right there is just what warmed everything up.
Yeah,
because we both was like, what the fuck? He a fucking weirdo. Like,
yeah, she didn't have her ID, but I did. So he was like, no, both people had to have the ID within the store. So
I said, yeah, I'm gonna just leave out.
Yeah.
When I left out, he still wouldn't give her the shit. I was like, what the fuck type shit these people got going
he was
on?
ultimately upset at the fact that I guess he felt you were supposed to bow down to him or apologize to him, and he was basically saying like, we choose to select who we serve. And I was like, well, she said like basically her bad and she left, so I'm just not getting like you're willing to risk a sale over, that pride thing or whatever. But in that moment, it kind of let me know, okay, she not playing.
I'm not playing no games with y'all.
She say what she means.
Like, because my whole thing was, sir, why you worried about me having an ID? I'm over 40 years old. She's 50.
Yeah.
So why are you worried about me having an ID? I'm gonna just step out.
Right.
And she can just get whatever she want to get. She got her ID type shit.
Yeah. And he still refused to sell it to us. We ultimately ended up having to leave, and we walked back to the hotel, and I just I Instacarted. I found a liquor store that did it through Instacart. Yeah. And we sat out on the balcony. We made some drinks, and we sat and talked. You know what I'm
saying? I got my 420 on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a cool little, you know what I'm saying? It was cool as fuck. I ain't even gonna hold you.
But it didn't feel like a first date to me.
Like, that shit was like...
It did not feel like, okay, we were just... I felt like we were coexisting. Like, no,
I ain't even gonna hold you because I had already planned. Like, I took my Uno cards. We played Uno and everything. So, everything was cool. Like, that shit was laid back in the motherfucker. That was, like, right up my alley. So, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely fucking with this right here. Like...
Yeah. And I think about me being such an introvert and her being a complete opposite. It was a balance of the two because she's able to do things to get me out of my shell.
Yeah, because I was like, why you always down there? Come up in. Yeah, and she couldn't really do nothing but just like...
Yeah, laugh because she's just like her humor and how she is.
I'm just so nosy.
Yeah, she is. She is. So I think it was time for me to go back to Houston. And we talk about this so much still after because we both wanted to still stay with each other, but I didn't say anything, which I probably should. But my mindset was getting back to my twins because I never leave my twins ever. So as a mom, you can kind of relate when you have kids. I mean, yeah, they're old enough to watch themselves, but there's so much going on in the back of my mind. I'm still thinking about getting home, getting prepared for work for that week, and then getting to my twins. But she was like, you didn't say anything about staying. I was like, you didn't say anything about staying. And we still play around and talk about that to this day, literally. But she wanted me to come back to her apartment.
I sure did.
She really did.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm not that type that's just gonna be like, I have to feel like her body language was giving she had to get back. So I'm not gonna interfere with that. You know what I'm saying? I know she got kids and this and that. But had she would have said something like, well, I don't have to go back no right now, then I would have been like, oh, bet. You know what I'm saying? I thought you wanted to go right now type shit. But
yeah,
she probably was thinking I was thinking something else. You know what I'm saying? Because as I'm walking to my truck, I'm like, damn, like, I miss her already type shit. Yeah. So it was just like, I'm walking to my truck and shit in the garage. And then she called me. You called me? Or
I called her. I texted her. And I was like, why do I feel like a piece of me is missing. Like ultimately, when I left her, like I felt like something was missing. And what was so weird was that as we started to connect in our relationship and seeing each other, it started like to really feel like us leaving each other started to feel worse and worse. I ultimately think like I was crying. I know I was like because as soon as I saw her, I didn't want to leave her, and that was my first time ever experiencing
I
that.
ain't gonna hold you. I wasn't crying, but I was definitely a little sad because I felt like, dang, we only spent like one day together. And you know what I'm saying? I had my own place. I lived alone. So it was like I wasn't going home to nobody. So it was like, dang, I would have loved to take her to my spot. But only if she was comfortable. Like I feel like if she would have said she was just so shy too though.
I am.
And that's another thing that made me not want to say, hey babe, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You want to stay for a little bit more, sweetheart, or something, you know what I'm saying? But I was just like, nah, alright, I guess she ready to go, so I'm gonna just go ahead and let her slide type shit.
Yeah. But ultimately the feeling was mutual. Like we didn't want to leave each other, but as you can see,
we talked about it and we ain't have to get she ain't have to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, for real, she ain't even really have to get no hotel in the first place, but you know how people be when they just meeting and stuff like that, so it was kind of better for both of us to meet how we met.
Yeah, because although I was on apps, I wasn't going and meeting up with people like that. I'm really super cautious and careful about that. Like, and I hadn't been on the dating scene for a minute because I was in a relationship for like 6 years. So I'm really cautious. So for me, just making sure you being safe and secure as a female. You know how it is. People is crazy.
For real, motherfuckers crazy than a motherfucker. Man, I'm thinking on the other hand, I know I got my own spot, but Shorty might be crazy in a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we talked on the phone type shit, but
yeah,
you gotta take your time with stuff like that. Don't rush too fast into stuff with not really knowing people like that. So we both played it safe. But the next time she was up in my little spot, you know what I'm saying? Like she was driving her ass right down there.
I was. And that went from our first date was August the 3rd, I think. It was around the 1st.
You remember that?
I do.
Damn.
Yeah, I do. So that was our first date. So August, and we went from August to being married.
I know.
October the 19th.
She proposed to me, I was like, are you serious?
Yeah. We literally met and married in 2 months. Literally. And it was the best decision of my life. I don't regret it at all.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Some people say that, timing is a factor of love. We truly don't. Like, God can align you with your person at any point in time, when you're ready to receive that person. I think that's why God put us in each other's paths, is because we were both ready to receive what we knew we were praying for. Mm-hmm. So I think that makes a difference.
And not only that, God know your heart too. You know what I'm saying? He know gonna be you. He know gonna be good for you.
Yeah.
And who you gonna be good for. Like, he allowed us to cross each other's paths. Like, I can only speak for myself. I mean, she could tell you too. I done been through my fair share of shit. And, you know what I'm saying, being lesbian in relationships. Like, a woman is the reason why I even ended up in Texas. And I'm from D.C., born and raised type shit. So, you know what I'm saying? That was really the last straw. And that's one of the reasons why I stayed single for so long.
Yeah. And I think that, like I said, you going through what you go through and saying, hey, you know what, I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to figure me out, date me. Plays a huge part. Detaching yourself from people that you've continued to attach yourself to that wasn't reciprocating love. That plays a big part. So I had went through all that. So going to Aruba for me was me surrendering, saying, hey, you know what, God, okay, why did I allow myself to be so vulnerable where I put myself in those positions? So I think once I was able to answer those questions for myself, and surrender and released. You know, going to Aruba was like an awakening,
Yeah.
like rejuvenation experience for me. And I had already went through my self-love photo shoot and just embracing me, and just I had went through parts of just seeing me how God saw me, because I wasn't doing that. You know, going through relationships,
Yes,
people
me too,
can tear
though.
you down.
Start working on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You once you continuously forgive a person from for doing things to you, then it's like you lose a little bit of you, a little
Yeah.
bit every single time you forgive a person. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's definitely my last relationship that ended me up in Texas, which I'm DC born and raised. First time ever living outside of DC now, y'all. Like that whole just being out here, just like to leave everything you know for somebody on the strength of just stepping out on faith for love. You know what I'm saying? And look at that. She the reason that I'm in Texas, but she definitely ain't the reason why I stayed. Like I would have
Yeah.
never ran into this woman had I not went through everything that woman put me through.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you align because some people fall on too much from people. You know, trying to continuously give a person the benefit of the doubt, when the good Lord puts so many signs in front of your face that you decide to ignore.
Right.
So it's like once you start loving yourself, and just from you just happening to basically relearn yourself all over again, like it's something, man. Self-love is the best thing you could ever do for yourself. Like,
Yeah. And it's the me stepping on faith and choosing me, so I can be able to choose her. I think it's the best decision of my life. You know, definitely she's my person, my soulmate, my best friend. Yeah, she all that. Yeah. So
my
now,
queen.
yeah,
My queen.
now we're married, and she moved here from San Antonio to Houston, and now we're building a life together. We're pushing
Making
out content together, and
Yeah.
doing God's purpose, because ultimately we feel like God put us together for a bigger purpose.
That's right. And we
Yeah.
want people to still believe in love. Don't give up on love just because you had a trashy ass person in your life that didn't respect you, that didn't love you,
Right.
that didn't have loyalty for you, because your person's still out here. Don't be so tough on yourself. Just know what you deserve. Like, that's the best advice that I could probably give. Like, you have to be able to let go of things that just don't serve you no purpose. If it's continuously bringing you pain, then you have to let it go, so that the good Lord can open the doors for you.
Yeah, and I think for me, the best advice I can share is that once I realized why I was putting myself in positions where I was giving more than I was receiving. I think for me, the self accountability piece was asking myself, why do I feel like I'm placing myself in positions where I'm feeling like I'm always doing, and I have to feel like I'm getting that validation piece, and I'm doing for you, and I'm helping you in return in hopes that you'll love me more, that you'll see me, you know, that I'm here, that I exist. And once I said, you know what, I am the blessing, I am the package, I really don't have to do that. God
Okay, I am the
yeah,
prize.
God is gonna place somebody in my life that's gonna love me for me, and we're gonna balance each other with that, where she's not gonna have to feel like she's giving too much. Like, it's a balance of the two, and God did just that. Like,
Yeah.
everything I prayed for and put on that paper, she's
I'm
literally
telling you, and you have to
everything.
pray for strength. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Everything that I've been through, being out here in Texas, like, just asking the good Lord to replace all of my weaknesses with strengths. And my prayers every night is what got me through. Like, by the grace of God, like, I survived, like, without my family, without my friends. You know what I'm saying? Getting put out by this woman. I'm sleeping in my truck until I got my little apartment. All that shit. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. And so it's things that I needed to work on within myself. You know, it's parts of me that I didn't need to share with people for a few years, so that I could get back to know myself. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to date different people so that I wouldn't get stuck in that same cycle with the same type of
Yeah.
women that I've been running into. So it's a process. It's all a process. It's just knowing what you deserve and what God got for you is coming.
Yeah, I do believe what God has for you is for you. And like my wife said, I think ultimately when you realize that and you start healing and working on you, that's when you can start asking yourself, why am I attracting people that are not for me? Why am I attracting the same type of people? Ultimately, you get to answer those questions and change the narrative, and start choosing you. And ultimately, that's our story.
Yeah, and
That's our
so
story.
we found each other.
Yeah.
You know, the good Lord allowed us to meet, and we thank God for that every day.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
we continuously tell each other all the time how much we love each other, and we tell each other how we thank God for having each other in our lives, because it's so hard to find somebody that actually genuinely cares.
Yeah. And I
It's
think,
hard
well,
to
yeah,
find
it
real
really is.
love. It's hard.
People of
to find.
substance too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think the advice I can offer for being newly married, what works for us is that we communicate. You know, even the most difficult conversation, although we're newly married, we're still learning each other.
Mm-hmm.
We ultimately have respect for each other, and that's how we approach everything with each other, and we're honest with each other. Nothing is hidden. You know, we have an open book in our household, in our life, our phones. You know, I never put her in a position where she has to question or second guess anything with me, and I never will. There'll be no one or nothing that I'll put before her. No one will get any opportunity to say, okay, well, this person was in my DMs or this, that, and the other. Like,
Nah, for real. And
Yeah.
that shit dead on my end too. Like,
Yeah.
as long as you got that, some loyalty, some real loyalty, like nobody be able to come and, because guess what God got for you is going to be for you, and can't nobody take it away.
Yeah.
Can't nobody take it away. When it comes to being in a relationship, can't nobody take them away, because they only gonna have eyes for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to a job, when it comes to a house, when it comes to anything that's for you, it's going to be for you, and ain't nobody gonna be able to take it away.
Yeah. And I believe that wholeheartedly also. And we pray together. You know, you have to get you a person that's going to pray with you, for you, you know, and we do just that. And that's one of the things that I prayed for to receive, is a person that was going to pray with me, you know, that I could be my most vulnerable with. And somebody that's going to listen to you and be there for you. So we hope that our story, you know, reaches you and helps you and gives you that encouragement and that motivation to not give up on loving your person, which is one of the reasons why we started to build our platform, you know, as we wanted to share our story and let people know how we met each other, and let people know that God is truly real, because God is the one who intervened in this. God is the one who designed and put this together, and we truly stand firm on that.
Yes.
So that's the how we met Aya and Tiffany story. So
thank y'all so much for watching.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys for listening to us and listening to our love story.
Right.
my
So please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like, share,
Yes.
and we gonna keep them coming. Like, well, we just really started actually making our content on YouTube. That's something that we're gonna start focusing a little bit more on for TikTok, because that's what most of our crowd is on TikTok. So we're just trying to move the platform on over here to YouTube, to a more broader audience, y'all, so we can do this what we doing right here, spread our love, you know what I'm saying, give advice, pray, and all that good stuff. Positive energy always, y'all, always, and big love from me and Tiffany.
Yeah, definitely love to you guys. We're sending love and light your way, and as me and my wife always tell everyone, if no one told you that you're loved today, you're loved, and we love you.
We love y'all.
And we're praying for you. Drop in the comments. You know, we'll continue to ask for suggestion ideas. You know, How did you like our story? We'll definitely welcome, positive feedback.
Positive feedback always, y'all.
Respectful feedback.
Respectfully.
Respectfully.
Respect.
Yeah, and we're building our tribe and community. We feel like life is chaotic for a lot of people. So if our content and our place is a place where you can call home, call us family, hey, that's what we
We all fam.
We all fam.
We all fam. It don't matter. Love is love, man. I would
That
continuously to say this, y'all. It don't matter what me and Tiffany. Love is love. It don't matter about your gender, your sexuality, or your race, y'all.
Right.
We love y'all. We love y'all all, man. And that's what we trying to push out into the universe. That's it.
Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you for watching and giving us time out of your day, and we'll give it back to you. And continue watching us and supporting us.
Stay blessed, y'all. God bless.
And thank you for all of our supporters. Be blessed.
Thank y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.